Here is your latest African news. Mali. Mali launches a 4-day forum on return to civilian rule. Mali's military-dominated government has launched a 4-day national forum on returning the country to civilian rule following the country's August 2020 coup. The authorities are showcasing the National Conference on Reform as a chance for the public to foster change, but main groups have already lashed the project and say they will boycott it. Colonel Assimi Goïta said at the opening ceremony that the meeting will be an unflinched assessment of the state of the nation and draw the best lessons from it. On December 12th, Goïta told the West African Regional Bloc ECOWAS that he would provide it with a new election schedule by January 31st. Mali had a long history of national consultations to discuss problems and recommend solutions. The National Forum follows meetings at the local level, which were held in 51 out of 60 areas, the exemptions being in the northern region of Kidal and Menaka. They were also held in 26 foreign locations for the Malian diaspora. South Africa. South Africa objects to the auction of Nelson Mandela's cell key. A South African cabinet minister is demanding the cancellation of an upcoming auction in the US of a key to the Robben Island prison cell in Cape Town, where the late Nelson Mandela, the country's first black president and internally renowned rights activist, was long jailed for his opposition to apartheid. The key is among Mandela memorabilia being sold by Guernsey's auction house in New York on January 28th. Most of the items were provided by members of Mandela's family to raise funds for a planned museum and garden around his grave, while the key is being sold by Mandela's former jailer who became his friend. The 33 objects to be auctioned include one of Mandela's colorful shirts, gifts from former US President Barack Obama and George W. Bush, as well as items signed by Mandela and artwork. The key to his former jail cell is one of the 3 items put up for sale by Christo Brand, Mandela's Robben Island jailer. He also provided a draft of South Africa's constitution that Mandela inscribed to Brand and an exercise bicycle Mandela used. Kenya. Kenyan government defies courts to bar unvaccinated people from spaces. Kenya's Ministry of Health has announced it will enforce a rule requiring people to be vaccinated against COVID-19 to access public services, places, and events. The ministry is going ahead with the mandate despite a court order that postponed it pending a hearing next month. Health Chief Administration Secretary Masi Mwangangi announced that one will have to show proof of vaccination to enter public spaces such as buses, grocery stores, restaurants, and game reserves. Last week, the Kenya High Court suspended a court order that said the vaccine mandate would begin December 21st. A hearing on the case is scheduled for January 14th. Rwanda and Zimbabwe. Rwanda and Zimbabwe signed a memorandum for recruiting teachers. Rwanda and Zimbabwe have signed a memorandum of understanding that paves the way for Kigali to recruit teachers from the South African country. The MOU signed by Zimbabwe's Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare Minister Paul Mavima and the Rwandan Education Minister Valentine Uwamariya in Harare last week came months after Rwanda's President Paul Kagame said his country needed to urgently recruit teachers from Zimbabwe to boost its education system. The partnership will create an avenue for both Zimbabwe and Rwanda to play a significant role in advancing the ideas of the continent as encapsulated in the continental development frameworks, given the fact that human capital development is critical to delivering on both the Agenda 2063 vision and the aspiration of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Uganda. Uganda suspends 15 labor export companies. The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has released a list of suspended labour export companies. The Gender Minister Betty Amongi said the companies are not authorized to export labour. The reasons for suspensions include human trafficking, accumulated refund claims, forgery of renewal documents, forged PCR certificates, forged training reports, among others. Legislators recently chastised the government for failing to manage and mitigate the gross human rights violations and inconsistencies involved in the exportation of labour, especially to the Arab countries. Whilst acknowledging the necessity for Uganda to travel out in search of employment due to high unemployment in Uganda, the MP said that some Ugandans were being trafficked as slaves by so-called recruitment agencies, while others were working under harsh conditions with meagre pay. Some MPs also blamed government reluctancies to manage the issues on the fact that some government officials owned the agencies and recruitment firms engaged in the trade. Recent data from the May Migration and Development Brief shows that remittance flows to Uganda hit $1.1 billion in 2020. Uganda is ranked among the top 10 recipient countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Diaspora. Devastating floods after 2 dams break in Brazil. Two dams broke Sunday in northeastern Brazil, flooding a rain-drenched region that has already seen thousands forced to flee their homes. The Bahia state government's press office said heavy rains have caused floods that have killed 18 people and affected at least 50 cities since early November. It said more than 16,000 people are homeless, 19,500 displaced, and 2 people missing as a result of the flooding. Thanks for watching. Visit our YouTube channel Tunacheki to watch our daily news reports and our website tunacheki.tv for all the latest news updates. Also, don't forget to catch the return of our show Africa in the News on our channel. You can directly support this new series by becoming our YouTube member or becoming a Patreon. And remember, Africa is watching.